Nancy from Donholm, she's tuned in. Akona swali na ameuliza to my question to Soila and Curtis is for them to explain to us this concept of the one, because most of us don't believe there is just only one person for us, but the right one. This is especially in the case where one spouse dies and you remarry. So you'll be answering that in a bit.
Okay. Also, big shout out to a guy called DJ Spin. DJ Spin is a cartel of the gospel industry in Rwanda. So tuning in all the way from Kigali, Rwanda, and some of the studio is Moto. And a big shout out to Akina Cats. That's a kila mtu kuita Cats, eh? And his question to you, which you'll also answer, is what glued you guys together? You've heard and seen that most campus and high school relationships, they don't last. But you guys, but against all odds, against all odds, you guys have survived the test of time, and especially because one of you was clearing, the other one was just starting. So how did that work? And how did you guys stay together? What did you guys do? Did you come to Destana every week visiting day? Transfer Nairobi campus? What did you guys? In fact, let's answer that one real quick. What did you guys do? How did you make it work?
First of all, I still had to have my degree and have to do well. So Curtis, because he was now tamaking and all that, he'd take time once in a while, not really once a week because he's also at work. And Athi is really far. So he'd take time to just come and visit me once in a while. It was mostly surprises. So that's how we made it work, and the conversations you're still going to have. The excitement of not seeing him every day, I think also just kept me going, you know. I can't wait for he's going to come see me, to visit me and all that. So those are some of the things that we used to do to keep it alive back then on campus. Yes.
Curtis, from your end, because I'm hearing this is a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Msichana ko kule Ocha at the river. Wasa kwa Nairobi unafanya ile kitu inaitwa tamaking. How are you keeping it going, and did you have money at that time? What was going on?
The money was not in plenty. So ilikuwa I get pesa kidogo and I decide to come to Athi River, like she said, once in a while. It was a very well planned thing. And sometimes I would come and she would surprise me. She would make some nice tea and breakfast, and then we'll have it kwa nyasi somewhere.
Yani ulitengenezea msichana pasta and spaghetti. Yani kutengenezea chai
kwa nyasi.
What's going on? Soila.
But she was in a
It's camping. Hapo ni standards. Umesikia hapo ni camping.
Alafu I was in a hostel whereby men are not allowed.
Hostel,
So I have to make my breakfast in the hostel, and then we have to go, hapo kanyuma kuna nyasi, go with a leso, tandika hapo. Guys, serve the guys some breakfast.
So out of curiosity, was the hostels in the school?
Yes, was in school.
In school.
Patient. I was in a student lesson. We make it before going to off campus.
Yes.
Where you cook for yourself now. Patients, you go and eat in the dining hall. But Estu is a place now where you cook for yourself. You live.
You are now grown up.
Now you're now grown up. You take a bit of responsibilities in preparation to just go off campus, whereby in the ghetto.
So you survived, and that's how you survived. But question that had actually come in: how do you go about identifying the one? What is that makes them stand out from someone? And someone asks, what happens if you get married to the one, and then they get married? Is the next person the other one, or what?
And
is the current
also
one?
This concept of the right one.
The right one. How do you figure that out?
So the best example I can give is the elections that we had last year. Okay, so before
man of God.
before the sitting president came in, which is the president William Ruto came in, we had the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Now before Ruto came in, Uhuru Kenyatta had to step out of that office. All right, the office had to be vacant for another president to come in, and this president who's coming in had to have some certain qualifications. All right, for them to be considered the president. In other words, the one is not a person. The one is not a person. It is a function. It is an office. All right. So if we're talking about the one for you, we're not talking about an individual. We're talking about an office or a function in your life that someone comes and fulfills. This person needs to have certain characteristics and qualifications to become the one for you. Peradventure, they get to a point and they decide, I no longer want to be in this relationship. It is not the function that has left. It is the person who has vacated the office. So the function for the one is still there. So God is able to raise someone else to fulfill that function in your life. So if you lose someone by the way of death or divorce, unfortunately, it's not that, now I'll never have the one for me. The one for me has gone. It will never happen. It simply means the person who was occupying that office has left. And God can raise somebody else to come and occupy that same office. And a good example we see in Genesis 24. Verse 14, where Abraham is getting old and is like, hey, my servant, I need you to go and get a wife for my son Isaac. Now it's very interesting what the servant does when he reaches the place where God sent him. He says, let it be that the girl to whom, this is 24:14 Genesis, let it be that the girl to whom I say, I pray to you, let down your jar that I may drink. Let down your jar that I may drink. And she replies, drink, and I will give your camels to drink also. This is what the Bible actually says. Let her be the one whom you have selected and appointed and dedicated for your servant. In other words, for Rebecca to be the one, there are certain functions
She had to fulfill the
she
needs.
needed to fulfill for the servant to say, this is actually the one. So the one is not an individual, atini mtu. The one is a functionality. So when God is able to train you and raise you up to have those functionalities, you now become the one for the person who God had in mind.
We?
Yeah.
All right. Soila, you'll be also telling us maybe you'll be responding or you'll be adding to that words of wisdom. Ulisema tumempendea nini? Ilikuwa nini? Ulisema
the nini?
Support system.
Let me tell you, I can't remember the last time I had someone use the word peradventure. Hey.
And then there's something, Soila mentioned something actually, and she said also it's the mental, did you say it's how he thinks, his mind is
Yes.
the mental.
Yeah.
Tumeanza kuona. So
96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.